Hi friends, welcome back to the Weekly Tweak, the show that just keeps chugging along. Don't worry, day oneers, you'll get to brag about your commitment soon enough. This week, Trump received the Most Special Boy Award, also known as the FIFA Peace Prize. Yes, that FIFA. Trump was presented with the award that came in the form of a mutated democratic uprising by the president of FIFA himself, Gianni Infantino. Fun fact, the president of FIFA is picked solely on their likeliness to a soccer ball in both looks and kickability. The 28 days later looking trophy was brought out by the U.S. Marines, who look like they would rather be giving J.D. Vance his nightly bubble bath. But wait, there's more! The trophy also came in medallion form so that everyone at school can see what a big day Trump is having. And his mom is bringing him McDonald's for lunch. In response, Governor of California, Gavin Newsom, posted this photoshopped image on X of him receiving the Kohl's Peace Award, which comes with a $50 Kohl's cash. Someone who has enough money to buy all of Kohl's, Netflix, who continues to print its red logo using real blood as they have now pushed for a merger with Warner Brothers. Netflix has put in a bid of $72 billion for the deal that would give them rights to everything Warner Bros. Owns, including HBO, Cartoon Network, HGTV, the DC Universe, Harry Potter, Game of Thrones, and, you guessed it, the 2006 animated masterpiece, Happy Feet. But just like when we found out there was an even bigger shark in the Meg, which also belongs to Warner, Paramount has put in their own bid of $108 billion. A bid that NBC called hostile 9 times in their article titled, you guessed it, Paramount launches hostile bid over Warner Bros. Discovery. Now, this got me wondering, why hostile? In fact, every news outlet we came across used the word hostile, so I harnessed my inner detective Pikachu, also owned by Warner Bros., and looked a little deeper. It turns out a hostile bid is an actual term. A hostile bid is a specific type of takeover bid that bidders present directly to the target firm's shareholders because management is not in favor of the deal. Put more simply, and to what I can understand using the full extent of my art degree, Netflix made an offer. Warner Bros. Liked it. Paramount made an even bigger offer, one that really doesn't make sense, so that the shareholders of Warner Bros. Will pressure Warner into going with Paramount's offer instead because money. And as we all know, money is a huge motivator. That's the entire plot of Oceans 11, 12, and 13, also all owned by Warner. But while the 1%'s 1% fights over custody of Ace Ventura and Mortal Kombat, yes, both owned by Warner Bros. Discovery, Eurovision is fighting to keep the lights on. So far, for Eurovision 2026, 4 countries have dropped out: Ireland, Spain, Sweden, and Slovenia. And yes, this is because of politics. Here's the tea. Eurovision, if you don't know, is like Europe's Super Bowl, but with singing, dancing, costumes, pyrotechnics, and whatever this is. Each country selects one artist to participate, and everything around the country's participation is run by broadcasters, members of the European Broadcasting Union, in order to keep things fair. Each artist performs one song, and viewers can vote their favorite into the semifinals and then into the finals. There is also a jury involved whose votes count just as much, but only for the final round. Last year, Israel got second overall, but if you took away Eurovision's jury, then Israel would have won, and by a lot. Many broadcasters feel that Israel's success was due to unfair campaigning and was politically motivated. Kind of like when Northwest got to be Simba. So last Thursday, the EBU took a vote on some new rules that will hopefully make the voting more talent-based. Now, viewers can only cast 10 votes instead of the usual 20. And the jury will now be involved in the semifinal voting as well as the finals. There are also new rules about campaigning that restricts broadcasters from working with government organizations for promotion. Here's an ironic detail though. So everyone is pushing for the integrity of the competition, right? That a winner should be chosen based on talent regardless of country of origin. Well, get this. Some singers automatically get to go to the semifinals because their country of origin funds the competition more than others. One of these countries is Spain, who has pulled out of the 2026 competition for the other main reason broadcasters are boycotting politics. You know what I'm talking about. And the financial difference is having to be made up by the remaining countries, which could lead to more dropouts due to financial strain, including Finland, who said its attendance was conditional on Eurovision securing a large number of other participants, adding, the cost for participating organizations must not increase unreasonably. Depending on how American you are, you might not have cared very much for that Euro dump. But stay tuned for our next segment featuring all kinds of things you might not care about in Nobody Cares. Ever wonder if you could put your PhD in computer science to good use? Daremood early found a way by competing in and winning the Xxhe Esports World Championship. You heard that right. The event is a showcase for both Microsoft's spreadsheet and the skills of individuals who can use it to solve tricky problems. This is what I'm expecting from now on when someone puts Microsoft Excel under skills on their resume. And yes, obviously they have their own theme song.
It's the Xxhe World Championship. Who is going to win? It's the Xxhe World Championship. Who's going in the spreadsheet bin?
But nobody cares. Earlier this week in Kansas City, residents hosted a farewell ceremony to a 250-year-old tree. His name is Frank the Liberty Tree, and he's been around longer than Kansas City itself. Unfortunately, though, Frank is going to be cut down due to root fungus. And nobody cares. An 11-foot tall bronze statue of science fiction hero RoboCop has been installed in Detroit after nearly 15 years of planning. Now, I've heard of RoboCop. I have a concept of what it is. I mean, based on the name, I can assume he's some kind of robot and some kind of cop, a RoboCop, if you will. But I have never seen the movie, and only now am learning that it takes place in Detroit. I can't think of another movie that takes place in Detroit. So I looked it up. It's a lot of cop movies. Action Jackson, Exit Wounds, Beverly Hills Cops, which does start off in Detroit, by the way. RoboCop 1, RoboCop 2, RoboCop 3, but of course, nobody cares. The San Diego Zoo has allowed visitors to finally catch a glimpse of their new fossa pups. Fossas are a vulnerable species, meaning that they are just one step away from becoming endangered. The San Diego Zoo is actually responsible for welcoming over 40 of these pups into the world. But nobody cares. Taylor Swift and Selena Gomez were spotted attending a Kansas City Chiefs game together this week in coordinated outfits. There were several articles about this, but I say this and I cannot stress enough, nobody cares. Speaking of Finnish researchers studying the use of our four-letter friend found that US citizens used the most frequently, followed by Brits, then lastly Australians. This just goes to show that scientists will research anything but endometriosis because, you guessed it, nobody cares. But we do care about the arts, local art, so please stay tuned for our next segment that takes place on a very special set. And now performing Acetine from their new album, Cerulet Sonnets, Xxhe.
untamed tones and voices. I'm lying awake, can feel the rest. Biased in the dark of the memory. I fold the sheets of her skin to place. Dire face, a face that as warm as I'm breathing. I'm a waiting all
That was Ask the Teen from Serialit Sonnets by Xxhe. You can find it on all streaming platforms with music. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. Yay!